everyone, it's DuckFairy07. Today we are playing Basim Affinity Brew, and this is actually a brew from few months ago from my channel. I did a trophy league, but I had to accommodate Mox Opal in, and so I had to do some changes. Okay, obviously Mox 4 Mox Opals went in the deck. You can check that old list in the old video, but the most important change I made was Blood Fountain, and this card was like super brutal in the deck. It enabled everything, so it enables turn 1 Mox Opal. You just cast Blood Fountain, Mox Opal, and you are ready to cast your Emery. You have Metalcraft, you have mana to cast Emery, you have enough artifacts. You can go for Rebuke, cast another 1 mana artifact, whatever. If you cast another 1 mana artifact or just cast Blood Fountain Mox Opal on turn 1, turn 2 you play land, and then you are missing just a single extra artifact to be able to cast Kappa on turn 2, and Kappa on turn 2 is absolutely brutal. There's just almost no deck that is not combo that can beat that. And it's super easy. If you start with Blood Fountain plus Mox Opal, you need to have either like Mox Ember or another Mox Opal or another Mishra Bubble or even Blood Fountain. Blood Fountain acts like additional mana to cast your Kappa Cannoneer, because it's 1 mana artifact providing 2 artifacts, so it's actually helping you improvise very efficiently. And it's also great as I mentioned before with Emery and Rebuke and Asmo, because the discard ability enables Asmo. All in all, is just super synergistic in this deck, and I've been truly impressed with Blood Fountain. Such a important addition here, I feel. Okay, so in the sideboard we got 2 more Rebukes, Force of Negations, Consign to Memory. This make it 8 counterspells post board, which can turn deck to really like kind of control style in the post board games when you need that. I think that's very good option to have, very strong powerful option to play 6 counterspells in the sideboard, and versatile counterspells that can hit a lot of stuff. Toxic Deluge, Fatal Push as a removal on the side, Damping Sphere kind of as a Storm Hate and the Land Hate. And we got 2 trouble pieces, 2 more Nihil Spellbombs, and Pitting Needle. Okay, so Oval Chase Daredevil. I don't have other use of Daredevil in this build except for Cookbook, so it's also decent with Blood Fountain, like discarding Daredevil. But since I have Emery here and I was missing 1 slot, I decided to trim 1 Daredevil. Obviously, there is often like discussion to play 3 or 4 Daredevils. In this build, I decided for now to go with 3. If I was to play the 4th one, I would probably cut either like 1 Ember or 1 of the Spell Bombs. Okay, so for now 18 lands. Previously I played 20 with 3 Embers. Now I have 18 with 4 Mox Opals and 2 Mox Embers. So I did great in first 4 matches. In trophy match I was mana screwed, and so I'm definitely considering going up a land, but I will need more experience with this deck first. I just played 2 leagues so far, so for now I'm leaving everything as it is here. But what I'm considering here is adding Knighting land, adding like 4th Daredevil. That is it. Everything else I really like for now, and I would not change anything else. So that is it. Let us check out the gameplay, see how it went. Okay, so here we go. Match 1. The whole deck felt like really strong, and I did not play perfectly. In fact, I played pretty badly on multiple occasions, and I still won, and it's just because deck felt that good. Okay, so you can hear you can see here I have Blood Fountain plus Mox Opal on turn 1, and actually cast a 2nd Blood Fountain. So if my opponent didn't have a portable hole here for my Mox Opal, that would actually mean turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer for me. But instead I had to wait for turn 3 to get that land. So I finally got it, but in meantime my opponent got their Kappa Cannoneer on the field as well. So that was now a problem, fight for the Kappas, but my opponent also has Emery on the field, which is big advantage. And they had a Kappa first, they also have Shadow Spear and Construct, so it is a 2 big advantage here. So I'll have to win remaining 2 matches here. But I feel like these two decks are very strong, the Azorius and now also Dimir Affinity. I feel like these builds are so super strong. Again, you can see me going Emery on turn 1 with Blood Fountain, and here you can see me finding Owl Chase Daredevil. That is like super super good. Here I go. Mox Ember, Basim on turn 2. I decide to go for Asmo this turn. I could have holded Metallic Rebuke, but I decided to go for Asmo. Okay, so I did not expect my opponent can play like Kappa next turn, and that is basically only spell in this situation that I want to prevent my opponent from casting. So I'm okay here, just holding now Metallic Rebuke, and I go for 5, hold Rebuke for their Kappa. I feel really strong and secure about getting this one. So opponent goes for Thought Monitor. It's a really strong spell, so I decide to use Rebuke on it, slow them down, create my construct, try to be faster, try to do a lot of damage. Okay, so here it is. I make a 7/7 construct. That is a lot of damage here. I go for another construct here. I make another cookbook. I have Asmo on the field. I have Daredevil on the field. So this makes my constructs really large. Enables my Asmo. Okay, so I go in with everything. Opponent has to jump to survive, but they kind of decide just to surrender this one and let all damage through. So we'll check out game 3. Okay, so in game 3, now playing second, definitely a harder job, but as we can see again, I have a Blood Fountain plus Mox Opal on turn 1. I feel this play is just super strong. I'm really in love with it. Okay, so I go Blood Fountain, Mox Opal, Emery on turn 1. Again, put Owl Chase Daredevil in the yard with Emery ability. Okay, so I go use Overall Chase Daredevil with Blood Fountain. That is pretty cool actually, so you can use it to discard and bring it back with just by casting Artifact here. You can see me holding Metallic Rebuke for their turn, and being able to counter Kappa Cannoneer was crucial in this game. Opponent has double Saga. I didn't have any Saga, but my opponent fails to use that advantage by trying to resolve Kappa Cannoneer 2 times. Yeah, I think they should have just went for construct. It obviously easier to say now, but it would definitely be much better option, since I was able to rebuke 2 of their cannoneers, and that was super hard for opponent. Okay, so I go for a Basim, I go for Bubble, play Urza Saga, go for Asmo, and do a lot of value here. So I have a cookbook, I have another Asmo on the field, so I can potentially use find a second cookbook next turn with Owl Chase Daredevil. That means I can kill their creature, or most notably Emery. Okay, so I go for a cookbook here, make a food, first attack with everything, go in for 6, then I play another Basim, play another Asmo to trigger new Basim, then I go for a second cookbook, make a second food, and then kill their Emery. I think killing their Emery is crucial here, and because I don't want them to cast Kappa Cannoneer. Kappa Cannoneer is my main problem, so I definitely don't want to allow that. And okay, so now I have Asmo, I have 2 cookbooks on the field, Urza Saga in hand, a lot of stuff going on, and my opponent has another Saga on the field, and here I find Kappa Cannoneer, and I have Saga of my own, and my constructs are going to be pretty large, thanks to, I should have probably casted this Kappa Cannoneer sooner. So I went for, yeah, I would make it larger, but it really wasn't that important. Okay, opponent goes for construct. Unfortunately, it's 8/8, so can kill it at the moment with Asmo, but I'm hoping for my construct to be bigger than theirs and my Kappa also to be pretty big. So probably very efficient in racing it, but my opponent decides to attack here with 10/10 construct with just one card in their hand. So I decide it seemed like a great situation to just trade here, and I have Emery on the field, so I can just recast my Kappa. I use Blood Fountain actually to buy back Asmo and Kappa Cannoneer. That is also maybe one ability from Blood Fountain that some may forget. Okay, so I go do this again, everything, recast my Kappa, recast my Asmo, continue attacking. I was really low on time, so if you're wondering why I didn't play all the necessary stuff, I was just in a hurry to try to attack as many times here as possible, grow my Kappa as big as possible to just finish things here. Okay, so Kappa is unblockable, so I make sure it's a 2-turn clock and start attacking. So my opponent now on 10, I have to cast a single artifact next turn and attack for lethal. That's it. So I go for a cookbook, make Kappa unblockable just in case, go in, attack with everything, and that is the game. Yeah, 21 excess damage. Okay, so that was match 1 against Azorius Affinity. So let's check out match 2. Okay, so here we go again. Kind of a weird hand. I decide to go for it. So I go. I discarded cookbook end of turn just in case I draw a 0 mana artifact. Then I have a chance to go for a turn to Kappa Cannoneer, and here I did one big mistake. I decided to bounce Tamio in response to the flipping ability, so then my opponent was able to unearth Oculus, and that was definitely a game changer. A huge game changer. So not just because of this Oculus, but also because my opponent was able to cast second Oculus on the next turn, and that let them go too wide. Did not get a Shadow Spear on time, and I did not have enough blockers. So yeah, that was it. My opponent has lethal next turn, so I failed, a big fail there, and I lost the game because of it. Okay, sorry, wrong match. Let's check out game 2. Okay, big fail there in game 1. Let's check out the sideboarding plan. This is Grixis Oculus. My opponent decides to sideboard in Leyline of the Voids. Leyline of the Voids obviously make my Emery dead and Oval Chase Daredevils, but it depends on my hand. I can often just really ignore Graveyard Hate well with this deck. Okay, so I have 4 artifacts on the field. This means I can cast a Kappa Cannoneer again here on turn 3. It was just super easy to cast Cannoneer on turn 3, and I was also able to cast it on turn 2 multiple times in a different league I played. So it felt super cool. You can also see here that I was really close to casting it on turn 2 on multiple occasions. I did actually do that in a different league I played. I think overall this league was more interesting and better, but I was able to do it on turn 2 on multiple occasions, and that felt super sick. Okay, so here we go. Again, opponent starts a game with Leyline of the Void. This time they're playing first. I board in Fatal Push, couple of Fatal Push. So Fatal Push went in 1 emery went out with a couple bubbles and 1 ember. Also, I decided to bring in, I think, a pitting needle for frog and nihil spell bombs for Oculus. Okay, opponent here goes for Totsis. Their frog is locked here, so this means they can't grow it, and I can block it with construct token. So it seemed like a decent position for me here. Opponent, I'm not sure, maybe they faked removal or whatever here, but I went for a block with construct token, discard my emery, which is dead anyway, so I make my construct a 4/4 and kill their psychic frog. From here, opponent is in a pretty bad position. They're on 2 mana. And here I go for Blood Fountain, make my constructs 8/8, which puts my opponent down on 5 life. And I have 2 lethal attackers for the next turn. Opponent goes for Faithless Looting, doesn't find a solution, so that is a game and a match. So let's check out match 3. Yeah, if I didn't do that bad mistake in game 1, this would be, I think, super easy match. Okay, again, here we go. Turn 1 Emery. It was turn 1 playing Emery was like never this easy. It's just super easy. And I have Kappa Cannoneer in the yard and I have Mox Opal. This means if I draw like Blood Fountain or a Mox Amber or Misha Bubble or whatever, I can go for Kappa here on turn 2. I did not get it. So instead I'm still fine. I'm just going for like replay my bubble from the yard and find a Rebuke, which was great. And I felt super favored playing against Eldrazi, even in the long game. The only thing I feared was the Emrakul, and let them do something chaotic with Emrakul ability. Okay, so here I go. I could go for Kappa here, but I decided to maybe it was better to play this Shadow Spear here. Now I don't have mana to go for both Rebuke and make a construct token, but I decide to go for the construct token and don't replay Kappa this turn. Okay, so opponent now takes 6 mana, plays Mycospawn. That is the card I saw on top of their library. So I was pretty sure they're going to play that, so I can just make my construct token and then hold Rebuke for the next turn. Maybe that was the reason I played the Shadow Spear. Okay, so here opponent goes for Ancient Stirrings. They have double Mycospawn on the field. I pretty much don't care about that at all. And now I can go for Kappa. And the cool thing is I can play Kappa and I can attack and I can still hold mana for Rebuke. That's pretty cool here. Okay, opponent goes for Stirrings, so I'm holding Rebuke. I saw Kozilek's comment. They find it with Stirrings. I think I must have missed it, seeing that they find it there. So I decided to go for a Rebuke here and clear a Sowing Mycospawn, so I can potentially go for lethal. Next turn, I think I missed them finding Kozilek's command with Ancient Stirrings, so they were able to kill my construct now. But it didn't really matter much. I have a lot going on. Unblockable Kappa, which does lethal in 2 turns. Okay, so I play Urza Saga. I draw a card with a Spell Bomb to have something to discard, cast my Asmo of course, grow my Kappa Cannoneer in the process. I go for Asmo, now find a cookbook. Go for a cookbook, recast something with Emery, Ether Spellbomb. Ether Spellbomb can bounce their blocker next turn if needed, so I can try to go for lethal. So I played a lot of artifacts. My Kappa is 8/8 at the moment, which is definitely makes it easy for me to kill them next turn. just use Emery, just use Urza Saga ability, or I can discard something on Cookbook, plenty of face to go for lethal next turn. But my opponent was able to recover here. They had Devourer of Destiny, exiling Kappa Carnier. They had enough mana to pay mana for Ward, so they needed a total of 11 mana here. Still, I have Urza Saga, I have Asmo, I have so much going on that I don't even care about their Devourer. As I said, only thing I was scared about is them resolving Emrakul. That was the only problem for me. So I go for Mox, I go for just waiting to find a construct here and make Shadow Spear to continue attacking, trying to do lethal next turn. Okay, so my construct is obviously going to be big, but it will be borderline on lethal damage. My opponent first goes 7 mana here, goes Sowing Microspawn and kills my Urza Saga. That is a good start for them, but yeah, I can grow my construct a lot with additional cookbook, but it still doesn't matter. I have Shadow Spear already on the field. I can kill a bunch of creatures with Asmo here. Okay, so opponent also goes for Null Drifter, sacrifices Sanctum of Eugen, and finally finds that Emrakul, but it was too late for them. Now I have Asmo ability, I can kill 3 creatures, I have Ether Spell Bomb to bounce a 4th creature, and that makes it, I think, lethal for me here. Okay, so here we go. I kill a Devourer, I kill Null Drifter here. Okay, so I kill those 2. Wait for my turn, see what is the draw. I go for 2 more food tokens, try to grow my construct as big as possible, go Shadow Spear equip, Mishra Bubble, another bubble from the yard, bounce their additional blocker and go in for with both Asmo and construct token with trample, so that is surely lethal, and yet that is the game. So let's check out game 2. Okay, so in game 2, we can see the sideboarding plan: 1 Blood Fountain, 1 Basim, 1 Emery, go out, 1 Mox Ember, a lot of one-offs go out to be able to put in some sideboard cards. Mainly I wanted Dumping Sphere for their lands which provide 2 mana. Okay, opponent goes turn 2 Null Drifter here. I have amazing starting hand. And here I go, turn 2 Basim, and draw a card. Basim is a really strong card, providing card advantage every turn by not doing much, just casting spells, and you don't have to invest a single mana or anything. It's just there, it's attacking, it's getting bigger over time. Okay, so here I play my second Mox Opal, and now I can go for Kappa Cannoneer. Again, early Kappa Cannoneer, really hard to beat. Ward 4, I find Blood Fountain on top. Blood Fountain is great. Lets me discard my extra Mox Opal, which I don't need. Lets me grow my Kappa Cannoneer really quick. Lets me cast my Asmo from the hand. So such a great synergy here. Okay, so I go for Blood Fountain and grow the Kappa. This allows me actually to very efficiently make a Kappa 2 turn clock in this situation. Okay, so I go for Blood Fountain. Okay, so discard a card, play Asmo, play Emery, and I attack them down to 10, and my Kappa is 7/7. My opponent does a mistake here. They shocked in with Stomping Ground. which, yeah, they knew I have cookbook in hand, so that's definitely game over. It wouldn't matter. I had 3 artifacts anyway, so that definitely would not matter, but it would still be lethal. Yeah, but okay, so that is it. That was the match 3 against Eldrazi's. So let's check out match 4. Okay, so match 4, starting with the medium hand this time, but this is actually, I'm playing first, and that is the reason why I believed like this hand is pretty solid. So I can go like Surveil, fetch on turn 1, then go keep Emery on the top. I think Emery is decent here. And I go turn 2 Basim, Moxember. They can't prevent me drawing a card here, even with removal. So I'm definitely drawing here. And I play a cookbook. A cookbook enables me to go next turn Kappa Cannoneer, which is super cool. I only thing I need to do here is discard extra land and play Saga and play Kappa Cannoneer. So that is it. I also get to draw a card, and I play Mox Opal. After that, grow my Kappa really quick, and you can see that it's already 6/6, and I have a cookbook in hand. Next turn to trigger Basim, I have Emery to play something from the yard. Going to draw again, and I already have 5 mana with double Mox. It's just a super amazing hand here, but my opponent had really good stuff here. So Solitude Ephemerate, kill both Basim and Emery, but they were still blocked a lot with this Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, so despite them doing the Solitude Ephemerate thing, I still have turn 2 turn kill here with Kappa, which is also unblockable, and I'm also making a large construct here. So seems like a pretty bad position for opponent. Okay, so I go make a construct end of turn. First opponent tries to dig with Kawa ability. They don't find a solution for Kappa and concede. So that was a quick win in game 1. So it's a kind of zoo style, zoo mid-range build with Ephemerate and Kappa. So here I am, game 2. Let's see the sideboarding plan against them. So this is not a classic zoo. This is actually some mid-range zoo brew. So yeah, definitely not going to use sideboard instructions for this type of deck very often. But yeah, here it is. So definitely I decided here to trim 1 Emery, 1 Blood Fountain, again 1 Basim. So as you can see, again I'm trimming some one-offs. I'll also trim the Nihil, all the Nihil spell bombs. I think I don't need it in this matchup. Okay, again, this matchup feels really favored for me. It seems like they're struggling with Kappa. So Kappa enters, there's a 5/5, I recast Mishra Bubble from the yard, it's a 6/6, and it's really efficiently blocking their territorial Kavus. They need a 5 mana plus a Leyline Binding to be able to get rid of it, and then I also have another one. Okay, so here it is. I was able to, thanks to the Blood Fountain, which provides additional mana for me to cast Kappa Cannoneer, I was able to cast Mishra Bubble after casting Kappa to make my Kappa 6/6, so I can block one of the Kavus. I don't need to trade with them. Okay, opponent kills my Saga, goes in with Kavu, and plays Collector Offie. This may... I actually was F6'd here, did not expect Offie. So yeah, I made a mistake by not sacrificing Bubble there. Actually, like a Bubble in the yard would give me lethal immediately last turn, but I find Mox Opal this turn, so I recast it from the yard, double trigger my Kappa Cannoneer and grow them and attack for lethal. So that was the game and the match. So that was 4 wins. Let's check out match number 5. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I should have kept that starting hand. That starting hand wasn't that bad at all, but instead I went to try to mulligan to 6, find a better hand, but it was worse, and the next one was worse again, so I ended up mulliganing to 4. Felt pretty hard. My hand was decent. I have Basim, so I was almost I find a Moxember here. Moxember was close, but not good enough for me to go Basim plus Mox Opal on turn 2. Unfortunately, here again, opponent taps my land, but I now finally find that land I was looking for, so I can go Mox Opal, finally cast Basim, go for Moxember, draw a card, but opponent has subtlety to slow me down again, and they're probably casting Rhinos next turn, so that's definitely a problem. I have to find that Kappa Cannoneer ASAP to be able to compete here, make my Kappa bigger, unkillable, and yeah, that was my only chance here. I decided to keep Basim on top. Basim provides me with the card draw here, which yeah, it would be so good if they didn't have that subtlety. I would actually find Rebuke and counter their first Rhinos there. That would be, I feel like, super important. So definitely that subtlety there won them the game. Okay, so here I go. I try to dig for Kappa Cannoneer. Did not find it. Okay, so I go for crack another bubble. Dig more. I have another blood token, so really digging hard for it. Also keeping Rebuke. And here I decide to rebuke their subtlety because it's basically lethal if they have removal or kills Basim. So I decide to rebuke their subtlety here. And yeah, but unfortunately here I try to find another draw here. It's already pretty late for me, even for Kappa here, because I don't have enough mana to equip Shadow Spear and play Kappa, and did not find it anyway. So that was it, game over. And let's check out game 2. Unfortunate mulligan to 4 after I decided to mulligan decent starting 6. Yeah, okay, so opponent starts with Leyland of the Guild Pact again. Now my hand is much better here, but what I was missing in this game was at least like one creature. So maybe that was my fault, because I did board a lot of them out. So I boarded out 2 Emrys, 1 Basim and 1 Asmo. Maybe I should have just, like before, only trim 1 of each or something like that. I needed a lot of non-artifact spells in. I wanted the consigns and forces, so I wanted to remove some of non-artifact cards from the deck as well to fit those in. Unfortunately, opponent had eyes to tap my Urza Saga there, prevent me from making a construct. Still, I was in a decent position. I have 1 mana for consign, also have a Force of Negation, but it kind of went perfect for my opponent because they had ice here to tap my last land, and then they also had extra mana and to be able to cast both Brotherhood's End plus Mystical Dispute on their turn, and that wasn't game over still, but it was pretty good. That was pretty good. Opponent here crashing Footfalls from Suspend. I can't even rebuke that. I can't consign that. Can't do much about it. And okay, so opponent goes for another ardent play. I think I should have used like Metallic Rebuke here, so I would be able to play Emery next turn if I draw a land plus hold consign. So I think that was a mistake. Okay, so I go for a land here, go for Emery now, but unfortunately I'm not able to cast both Rebuke. So I think that was a mistake there. It didn't really matter much since my opponent was in a much better situation. I needed, it was kind of impossible for me to get out of this one, so that was it. Okay, so that was the match, last match against Rhinos. I had a bunch of counter spells to prevent their Brotherhood's End, and I think that is a good thing about this deck. So much counter spells post board. I decided to go with 2 consigns in the sideboard because there is a lot of Eldrazi, but you saw that I feel like Eldrazi is a pretty decent matchup. And yeah, consigns, 2 consigns are good. Sideboard cards, good in the sideboard, great against Eldrazi, great against some other decks. Yeah, it could also potentially be a more force of negations in different meta, of course. And but all in all, I really liked the build. It felt really strong. I already talked about some changes I would consider. So definitely main ones are adding 19th land and 4th Daredevil, but I was happy in this league with 3 Daredevils, and I really liked like Aether Spellbomb and having Nihil Spellbomb in the main, and the 2 Mox Embers also felt good. Okay, so sideboard, I think it's pretty good. I like it. I'm not sure about Deluges, like 100%. There could be something else, maybe. I yet have to play some matchups to really evaluate some sideboard cards, but I've been happy with this in the sideboard to fight decks like combo decks, or to fight creativity decks, or all kind of different decks based on non-creature spells. Having all these counter spells on the sideboard feels great. That's it. Okay, so thank you for watching. And friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down in the video, tell me about your thoughts on some sideboard options and the main board of these cards, what I was talking about, what is your favorite setup, and will you try this deck? And I actually decided, I was so impressed after 2 leagues with this deck. I decided this is like the deck I'm building in paper, and possibly also making very soon a sideboard guide for it. And I think it's going to stay the meta. I think it's going to be really good. I think Blood Fountain was a crucial addition in this build to make it really strong, and I think Blood Fountain really makes you want to go and play Asmo as well. And since Cookbook also works so well with Mox Opal and Kappa Cannoneer, I really prefer this build to any other kind of Dimir Basim build. Okay, so that is it. Thank you for watching. Once again, I will also just mention next week I will be on a family trip for New Year's. I have a few vids scheduled, but maybe there will be a lower amount of videos for next week or two. So that is it. Goodbye.